Hi, and welcome to Best in Tesla News, episode 110. Elon is working on a new secret master plan. Tesla is dominating the EV market in Germany, and Ford wants to ramp up the EV game in Europe. And Tesla is about to take their energy business to the next level. And Herbert Diess said Giga Texas will set new benchmarks. And GM is recalling some Hummer EVs. And Tesla has already become a top 10 automaker in the world. All this and much more on today's episode. Start right in.
Let's put our living stereo stylus in this groove.
And Elon Musk is working on his master plan number 3. And this is something we should pay very close attention to. Because all the steps in Elon's master plan number 1 has all come true. And the second, we are still missing a few pieces, but just as Elon made the master plan number 2, all the things in the master plan number 1 was not done yet. But a couple of years later, they were. So Elon is just preparing the next step for the company. And as I talked about before, Elon and the people at Tesla have sounded very confident in the full self-driving software lately. And I think Elon's working on Master Plan 3 shows us that they do think they are getting really close on completing the Master Plan 2. And remember, that does include full self-driving and robo-taxis. So that's pretty cool. And I do think the Master Plan 3 is going to be a crazy one that many people will not understand the implication of, because this is where we put AI and robotics into the already very explosive mix. And Joe Justice just made a nice little video where he tried to explain the reason Tesla's valuation is going to the moon and beyond, because many people are only seeing them as a car company, but some are starting to get they also an energy company. But this is only a fraction of what Tesla is actually involved in. They are a dozen of startup companies all rolled up into one and have potential to get the valuation from many more sectors than just the car industry and energy industry. And Tesla is about to take this to a whole new level never seen before. And that is probably what Elon's Master Plan 3 is all about, that he tweeted he was working on. Putting AI and robotics into the mix of Tesla's already insane numbers of sectors they are in, and in most cases are disrupting. But with the next two pieces here, there is pretty much no limits to the valuation Tesla can get. Not only because of AI will be in everything, but AI robots have the potential to remove labor as the limiting factor of the world's economy. And then what? What is the limitation then? And combine that with SpaceX and you maybe have a limitless valuation of Tesla. This is why I made the whole video about Tesla could become the CHOAM of the real world. So some bullish signs that Elon is working on the next master plan, and that is definitely one to keep an eye on. And do you want to get smarter faster? Well, today's sponsor Blinkist can help with just that. I use Blinkist myself because what they do is they pull out the key takeaways of an entire book or podcast and put them into about 15 minutes text and audio explainers called Blinks. And they have over 5,000 titles already. So you can learn the key takeaway from an entire book in just 15 minutes while you're driving on your bike or just taking a 15-minute break. And boom, you have learned something new from an entire book. And you can do what I did to make it even faster. I started my Blinkist journey by hearing the blink from Josh Kaufman called The First 20 Hours that teaches you to learn the basics of pretty much anything in 20 hours by using rapid skill acquisition. This is the way I try to develop my skills as a video editor and much more. And if Blinkist wasn't fast enough, I love that you can speed up the read of the book. So I usually hear my blinks in 1.25x speed. So for example, this 12-minute blink I consume in just a little over 9 minutes and got the key takeaway of Josh's book in just a little over 9 minutes. And now I can learn everything faster. Just amazing. And there are so many titles to choose from, so no matter what you want to learn about, I am sure Blinkist have some blinks for you. So thanks to Blinkist, you can access valuable knowledge and great ideas very, very quickly. And if you sign up to Blinkist right now, through my link down below, you will get a 7-day trial and 25% off their premium membership. So go get smarter, quicker. And Tesla is dominating the EV sales in Germany in February. The Tesla Model 3 and the Model Y are the two best-selling electric cars in Germany in February by far. I did make a whole video about this topic this week, so if you want to take a deeper dive into that, go check that one out. But here are some of the highlights of Tesla's lead in Germany, even before the Berlin factory starts, and a few new things. Just look at this list here. Volkswagen's ID.3 and ID.4 combined sales in February is only a little more than half of the sale of the Model 3. Tesla's two models here combined sold more units in February in Germany than the Fiat 500, Hyundai Kona, the Renault Zoe, the ID.3 and the ID.4 combined sales in Germany. And all Tesla's cars on this list here has been exported to Germany from half around the world. And next week, Tesla will start spitting them out of the Berlin factory directly out to customers at their showrooms in Germany. And Tesla introduced a new delivery option in Germany this week called Tesla Drop. You can now pick up your car outside opening hours. Simply go to the delivery center, unlock your car via the Tesla app, document the pickup in your Tesla account and drive off. Now this could be huge and make sure Tesla could get even more cars out to customers faster. Just look at the Audi Q4 e-tron. I'm still surprised that it doesn't sell better, or Audi is not able to produce more, I don't know, but it has a lower starting price than the Tesla Model 3. And it's an Audi. And the Model 3 outsells it in Germany 6-1. And the Model 3 is not just the best-selling EV by far in February, it became the best-selling car in the mid-class, beating BMW 3 Series, the Audi A4 and the Volkswagen Passat in Germany. And in 2 days, they will start deliveries in Germany from their German factory. This is going to be brutal. And Friday was a huge day for Tesla Giga Berlin. As Sawyer wrote on Twitter, Tesla officially received their operating permits. This now officially enables them to start production and to deliver cars to customers. And according to Sawyer, all 30 cars that will be delivered to customers at Giga Berlin on the 22nd of March were built Monday this week. If this is the case, there should be hundreds of cars ready for deliveries next week. Are you ready for this? 2 days, my friends, and the fun begins. And Ford wants to ramp up the EV game in Europe with some really good targets. Ford Model E announced that it would take massive steps to expand its electric vehicle projects in Europe. It's aiming to roll out 7 new electric vehicle models in Europe by 2024 with an annual production capacity of 600,000 vehicles by 2026 in Europe. Recognizing the accelerating pace of electrification in the European market, as Jim Farley, Ford CEO, said, "I am delighted to see the pace of change in Europe, challenging our entire industry to build better, cleaner and more digital vehicles." Ford is all in on moving fast to meet the demand in Europe and around the globe. So this is great with a big push in Europe, but to hear Jim say, "We're all in," when it was only 2 weeks ago, he said this.
Ford Blue will build out Ford's vibrant portfolio of internal combustion powered vehicles.
Bronco and Ranger and F-150, Super Duty, Mustang, those vehicles aren't going anywhere.
I want to emphasize that. We are going to invest in internal combustion engines.
Yeah, Ford is still stuck between a rock and a hard place. Still so many things they have to say to please the ICE customers and contradicting themselves by saying things they have to say to please their EV customers. But glad to see they are trying to raise the stakes in Europe, because Europe's EV market sales are quickly taking over. The plug-in market was almost 20% in Europe in 2021. So good to see a high target of 600,000 EVs in Europe by 2026, because if we look at Ford's sales numbers in Europe, in 2020 they did only sell about 650,000 cars in Europe, so Ford will pretty much be close to 100% EVs in Europe by 2026 if they pull this off. And the goal of its 6% EBIT margin in Europe in 2023, so this is some cool targets for Europe. So now it's just the hard part, the execution. And they will get a little help with that here in Europe, because 2 of the new models will be made in Germany using the Volkswagen's MEB platform. And the Giga Texas got some very important visitors this week. One of them being Herbert Diess, that recently visited Tesla's Gigafactory in Texas, and he shared his impressions on LinkedIn and among other things wrote about Tesla's Gigafactory. By the way, Elon's new factory, he calls it the machines that produce the machines, is impressive. 1.2 kilometers long, 400 meters wide, all under one roof, no logistic from cell production to final assembly. Once up and running, it will very likely set some new benchmarks. I'm so happy that we decided on a new plant in Wolfsburg. Without that, no chance to compete. Yes, exactly these. Everyone that's just retooling old factories will not be able to complete. So people that think the old legacy automakers will have an advantage because they already have so many car factories are very much mistaken. Again, just like the ICE cars are not an asset, neither is the old school car factories. They are a very costly problem they need to get rid of somehow. But another VIP visited the Gigafactory this week. Biden's Secretary of Labor, Marty Walsh, got a tour of Tesla's Gigafactory in Texas by Elon Musk himself. Elon and Marty had a 75-minute conversation about inflation, American innovation and job creations in Texas. So nice to see Biden's people talking to Elon and Tesla. And so nice of them to make sure they had matching boots. And speaking of Tesla's factories, we have a little news about some of the other Tesla factories that is less talked about. Sawyer showed this picture of the Nevada factory with a record 293 Tesla Megapacks preparing for delivery, with the price tag of $1.433 million each. A Tesla employee did tell me in the comments of last week's news shows that they are retooling that factory and the goal is to double their production this week. Looks like they have done exactly that. And remember, at the same time, Tesla is currently building the largest battery energy storage facility in the world, their new Megapack factory in California that will produce 40 gigawatt hours when done, which alone will be a 10x of Tesla's Megapacks production. They started building the factory in September last year, so hopefully it will not be too long before this factory is finished as well. And then we will see Tesla's energy business really take off. Tesla Industrial Battery Storage Solution is already in over 50 countries and has over 1,000 industrial sites up and running, but that is only about 10 gigawatt hours of storage deployed in total. And soon they will be able to 4x that number within a year. So in 2021, where they deployed about 4 gigawatt hours of storage worth about $1.9 billion in revenue, but when the new factory has been running at full capacity for just 1 year, Tesla will make about $19 billion in revenue from the new factory alone. And remember, Tesla's total revenue in 2021 was $53 billion. So Tesla's energy business is getting ready to become a much bigger piece of Tesla's total business very soon. Very exciting to see this part of the business grow. And Tesla is raising their prices on pretty much every single model they have. This was of course not unexpected with the insane inflation we see right now, like aluminum prices is up 50% year over year, nickel 200%, lithium 263%, so of course EV makers have to raise their prices, and it was not just Tesla. BYD also raised their prices of some of their models. But even though Tesla says it because of the rising prices of material, I think that's only part of the truth. I still think they also doing this to try to keep the demand under control. As we talked about last week, we did see the orders for Tesla spike up in some areas more than 100%, maybe because of the rising gas prices, and we did see the Tesla Model S Plaid was the third best-selling EV in the US, and that is a very expensive car. This just shows you the demand there is for Tesla's product here. The Tesla Plaid Model S outsold the Ford Mark E. The Plaid sold about 40% more than Mark E in January and cost almost twice as much. So no wonder Tesla raised the price by another $12,500, and the base refreshed Model X now costs $25,000 more than it did a year ago. That is not just because of more expensive materials. That is just Tesla trying to keep their crazy demand in check. But even though Tesla raised their prices, Tesla will probably still be the cheapest choice when you're looking for an electric luxury vehicle, because Kelley Blue Book just named the Tesla Model 3 the most economical choice in the luxury electric vehicle segment over a 5-year ownership period. According to the study, its cost of ownership is more than $16,000 less than the competition. So not compared to ICE cars, no, the competition of electric luxury vehicles. And Kelley Blue Book made a pretty comprehensive study by looking at purchase price, the cost of charging, maintenance, depreciation, and other factors such as tax and registration fee. So yes, Tesla is raising their prices again, but Tesla is still the obvious choice in the luxury market if you're looking at specs and price, even after the price increase. And as we can see in the US, it doesn't really matter much. The Tesla Model Y long range is still sold out for the rest of the year. Jesus, the demand for these cars are just unreal. And the Australian politicians are more known for not helping the EV revolution along, but this seems like the politicians are turning. Slowly, but turning. Queensland announced a new EV policy that will see electric vehicles be more accessible to more Australians. Under the new plan from July the 1st, Queenslanders will receive a $3,000 subsidy, joining Victoria and New South Wales for anyone buying an electric vehicle with a value of $58,000. So because EVs are still very expensive in Australia, it is only these 6 EV models that will get these subsidies. But Queensland will also commit $10 million to build even more public charging stations, a great addition to the existing charging network, and given the size of Queensland, that would be greatly appreciated by current and future EV owners. Australia should be welcoming the transition with open arms, since Australia has huge amount of the materials that goes into batteries, and they are a very sunny country, so solar panels should work great as well, as Neon's big wind and battery plant in South Australia with Tesla's big battery has also demonstrated just how well this renewables and batteries work. That facility saved nearly $40 million in its first year alone and helped to stabilize and balance the region's unreliable grid. No wonder that Neon quickly built it out with 50% and are building more batteries all over the country. It is just a good business. Yes, Australian politicians need to start opening their eyes for the great opportunity that is right in front of them that could boost their economy. If you want to learn more about this, or if you know Australian politicians, you should get them to read this book by Saul Griffith, where he lays down a whole plan for Australia to make this switch and come out on the other side as the winner of this transition. I will leave a link to his book down below. And it's time for a weekly update of the Tesla Gigafactories. That means handing it over to Brian from My Tesla Weekend. Take it away, Brian.
Hey Lars, well, what a busy week it's been. In Shanghai, the northwest corner, where we just saw steel go in, has got more steel and some new footings. Yeah, they're expanding. Along the west central, there's more steel and some more roof trusses. The southern extension is closed off. It's got its walls. Interior work is underway. In the north central area, where we just saw footings recently, there are now steel columns that have gone up, and it looks like there's even more work being done in the central corridor, where it looks to me like there's more building. They're running out of room. In Berlin, the stamping building has got a new extension underway. This was always planned. They're just getting it started now. You can see attachments at the north face of the building where the steel work will attach. There are planters that have gone in the employee parking lot. The 4680 building is inching along nicely. And in the far northeast, in the loading and logistics lot, there is a bunch of temporary structures that have been put up. In Texas, well, the south wall is closed off. The divided pair of two-lane roads on the west side had a divider, and it has been paved over. The employee parking lot has gotten a ton of new pavement. As expected, a lot of it striped. Yes, this part moves quickly. The roof has more solar, and the beginning of the letter S in Tesla is starting to emerge. And in the far northeast, there's a lot more clearing, leveling, grading. There's a lot going on, and this site is big enough that if they wanted to, they could handle another 7 to 9 entire Giga Texas size buildings. It's a big lot. It's a big lot. Back to you, Lars.
So much good stuff going on at the Gigafactories, it's hard to keep up. Good thing we have Brian then to keep us all up to date. Thank you so much, Brian. See you next week. And SpaceX started doing some ground tests of the Starship and the Heavy Booster. And SpaceX SN20 and Booster 4 are simultaneously undergoing some ground testing for the first time. SpaceX did a cryoproof test. This test provides engineers with insights needed to know whether the spacecraft and rocket are capable of withstanding the stresses of spaceflight and see whether there is any leaks in the structure. The propellant tank was filled with liquid nitrogen at cryogenic temperatures to assess the vehicle's strength at high pressure. So they stacked the Starship using the launch tower Mega Silas arms, and it only took about 20 minutes. That is pretty cool that they are already able to stack the Starship that quickly. And the next phase of testing is expected to be the static fire test of Boosters 4 26 Raptor engines, while Starship remains on top. Remember, the other Starship prototypes that have been flying have only had 3 Raptor engines. This one has 29, so almost a 10x of the power. This sci-fi story is getting real very quickly. Remember, SpaceX aims to return NASA astronauts to the moon by 2025. That is only in 3 years from now. We are going to have so much cool stuff to look forward to just in the next few years. And SpaceX just did turn 20 years old this week. And if you want to take a look back at this awesome story of SpaceX, I will leave a link down below to my little documentary of the rise of SpaceX. One of my most liked videos here on this channel, so if you haven't seen it yet, you're missing out. And if you own a Tesla, I got a great deal for you if you want to protect your precious car. Drive Protected makes these great PPF wraps of your car, but you don't have to go to them to do it. The guys from Drive Protected have a whole YouTube channel where they show and explain how exactly to wrap your Tesla, so you can do it yourself, even if you live here in Europe or anywhere else. And they can of course guide you through the process if you need some help along the way. So this is actually something everyone can do. Just look at the feedback here from Phil. Thanks for the great guidance I received from Drive Protected. My first ever PPF installation on my brand new jet black Tesla Model Y could not have gone better. And just look at this beauty of a Tesla Model 3 Performance the guys from Drive Protected wrapped themselves this week. Oh yeah, looking good. So if you would like to protect your brand new Tesla, use my discount code BIT20 to get 20% off any order over $300 of Drive Protected's great PPF wraps. That code will be good for a worldwide order, so no matter where you live, you can get this great offer. So go nuts, my friends. And to the guys at Drive Protected, keep up the good work. And let's squeeze in the last short news topics into this news show. Yes, it's time for the Tesla Shorts. And Tesla halted production in the Shanghai factory for 2 days this week because of a new COVID outbreak in China. But Ben TV on Twitter could tell us Friday that the plant was up and running again. Hopefully there will not be more stops, because just 2 days halt is meaning maybe 6,000 less Teslas off the assembly line. And have you ever seen a Tesla Plaid with a functional minigun on the hood? Well, now you have. And GM is making a recall of the Hummer EV over an issue related to the vehicle's tail light. Only 10 vehicles are believed to be affected by this particular issue at this time, probably because there are not more than 10 Hummers EV delivered. The problem in affected vehicles are the software that operates the taillight may cause one or both rear taillights to become inoperative or remaining fully or partly illuminated. So a software issue, but it is actually a real recall, not something GM can fix with an over-the-air update here in 2022. Wow, GM is really showing some strength here. And look what Alex spotted, the shirt of the Tesla Semi launch team. Oh yeah. And Audi showed off the concept of the Audi A6 e-tron. But one interesting thing to notice is the place of the charge port, the back left side. So Audi changed that. Wonder what changed their mind. Probably Tesla opening up their superchargers, so now everyone wants to have the charging port in the same location as a Tesla. And Elon tweeted, "Working hard to make useful product service for your fellow humans is deeply morally good. I have so much respect for the associates doing an honest day's work at Tesla or SpaceX, building and servicing cars, rockets, Starlinks, batteries, solar, and many other things." And CATL is considering sites across North America to build a massive $5 billion battery plant to supply customers, including Tesla of course, so that is cool, but again just a really good showcase of Tesla's ability to make their factories in Berlin and Texas that both will be able to produce 200 to 250 gigawatt hours when up and running, but CATL's big $5 billion plant will only be able to produce 80 gigawatt hours. So again, Tesla is beating the battery manufacturer in producing batteries. And I have said it many times, I think Tesla has a chance to become a top 10 car manufacturer in the world by units sold this year. But John McEnroy and his son from Autoline Network showed us this week, when we are looking at revenue, Tesla is already a top 10 car company. Even if we look at the net profits, Tesla did also become a top 10 car company last year, just overtaking Renault in revenue, even though they sell over twice the amount of cars than Tesla does. Yes, Tesla is in a very strong position when we are looking into the future. They are already a well-running money printer. And have you ever seen a whale surfing? Well, now you have, and it seems to be quite good at it. And BMW shows off a new version of the grill, the new i7 electric grill. It seems like BMW have just lost all will to design cars, and all they care about is the grill. Maybe they should make an EV spin-off and name it the grill. And BMW is sticking with the statement that the i7 is the world's first electric luxury sedan. BMW clearly have their head in the sand and don't acknowledge Mercedes EQS or the Lucid Air or Tesla Model S. Oh well, but this should be BMW's most luxurious and most high-tech electric car when it goes on sales later this year, so it will be very interesting to see how well it does in specs, price and sales numbers. And SpaceX Starlink app was the most downloaded in Ukraine last Sunday. And you can now sync your Tesla profile to the cloud, so no matter what Tesla you're driving, you can always have all your preference right there. And a big deal for when you want to go rent a car. I know which one I would like to rent going forward. So cool, and Elon did reply, "Took us way too long." Yes, but let us see how long it takes the others to get this feature. And before we end up with a bit of fun, I just want to make a quick shout out to my newest patrons and members of this YouTube channel. Johnny Zero, Fred Bukowicz, Jimmy Wind, Toby Andropoulos, Jan Paul van Hal. And my new thank you for watching members: Robert Dressler, Neil Hansen, Gary Grant, Dan Price, Bruce Boyer. Thank you so much for all your support. I am doing this all by myself, but you guys are all the producers of this new show. Thank you. And a big and special thanks to Supporter of the Week. And this week's winner is Robert Druby. Robert has been a Be Nice and You Are member of mine for almost a year now. Thank you so much for all the support, Robert. You are making this new show possible. Contact me on this email down below so I can get your details, so I can send you your t-shirt or mug of your choice. Thank you. And let's end off with a bit of fun. And since Elon challenged Putin to a fight and became Ilona during this week, let's end with this. Ilona is here. That is all we have time for in this news episode. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button. It really does help this video out a lot. And if you did like it, maybe you want to consider hitting that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out on future episodes just like this one. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for your support. And if you want to support the channel even more, remember you can, for as little as $1, become a patron of this channel and get your shout out on this show. You can also become a member of the YouTube channel to get a shout out and some extra perks. Hit the members button to find out more. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter. I tweet all the news as it comes out and more. And check out the merch store to get some merchandise and support the show. Now it's also possible to support the show without buying anything, becoming a member or a patron. There is a link to donation options in the show notes. But going forward, I will be making more videos for patrons and members only. And I will give my YouTube members and patrons early access to my videos whenever possible and make my videos ads free for members and patrons only. So don't miss out. And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.